This is a very interesting comment and very intelligent. He said, what about the one that happened to you as a person? You go talk, say na fake, Abi. That is, would you say it's fake uh, for your own self again? He's talking about miracles because I said that miracles don't exist. And this shocked many people. And I was able to prove it by explaining how they do each of the miracle tricks. And I'm still exposing more because more people are dropping comments of different types of miracles, and I'm explaining it. This one is talking about personal testimonies. Now, the thing with personal testimonies is that you'll be stupid to discredit it. If you told me that you had a dream and you saw an angel, why would I discredit it? Why would I disagree with you? Do you understand? The best I can do is to ask you questions. Maybe in the process of the question, you can see maybe it's not an angel you saw. But I was not there in your dream with you to see whether it's actually an angel that you saw. Do you understand? If you told me that a man of God prayed for you personally and you got healed, why should I argue it? Was I there? Am I in your body to know whether you got healed or not? So when we're having a discussion about miracles and you bring up a personal testimony, that's a dead end for me and for any right-thinking person, because you can't go into the person's body and disprove it. Do you understand? But we can ask questions, right? Agreed? So let's look at it this way. If something is so powerful that it heals you, at least we should be able to prove that it can heal others, at least through some experiments, some proof, you know. Because this is what science does. If one scientist observes something, they will record it in a scientific paper and publish it. What are they recording? What they observed, how they observed it, the methods you can use to be able to observe it yourself. They will document everything, all the calculations, they will put it there. Have you ever seen Bitcoin white paper? 13 pages, but they explained everything. If you follow the same method, you will build your own Bitcoin, and it will end up exactly Bitcoin. Now, all the other scientists will look at it and try and replicate it. If they follow the same methods and end up with the same results, then you're right, okay? So, but when you say, I observed something, but you can't observe it, it's only me that observed it, so prove me wrong. No, it doesn't work that way. That's a personal testimony. You can't change it. But now, let us look into the details. These personal testimonies about miracles have limits on the kind of sickness. Somebody said that a man of God healed his skin rash. If you have skin rash, it's not unto death, right? 99% of skin rashes will go eventually, okay? By the time you try different drugs, different hospitals, they will treat you. Some, even if you don't take any drugs, your body will naturally fight it and you will recover. You know, so let's say you're in the process of recovery, because most of these personal testimonies, they cut out the parts where they went to a hospital. They edit it out. Have you ever seen that testimony in church where a couple was barren for 70 years? All of a sudden, they gave birth to triplets. The couple will be telling the testimony in church, and they will edit out the part they did IVF. When couples are barren, usually they go to fertility clinic for IVF. The IVF has high chance of producing twins. They will edit out that part. They will now say it's the oil the pastor sold that made them to be pregnant. You see what I'm saying? It's only when you ask questions about personal testimonies that you start seeing the loopholes. Somebody told me the other day that he saw God and Jesus standing beside God in the sky with a scroll. I said, have you ever seen God before that moment? He said, no. Have you ever seen Jesus before that moment? He said, no. I said, how did you know that the persons you saw are Jesus and God? How did you know? You just see something in apparition in the sky, you just conclude it's God. What if it's the devil that is shining, disguising as the angel of light as written in the scriptures? You know what I'm saying? Then I asked him the second question. Did anybody else see it with you? He said, no, it's only him. I said, if it's only you, how are you sure that it's not something happening in your head? Anything can happen in your head. As I am now, I can imagine me in a Lamborghini. I'm inside a Lamborghini right now. Can you disprove it? When something is happening in your head, it's not real. So if only you see something that is supernatural, extraordinary, it's not real. Until somebody else can see it and verify it with you. So this is the thing with personal testimonies. You can't use it for arguments because it might actually be true. Somebody can say they saw a vision where Jesus appeared. It might be true to them. You know, If I smoke weed now, I'll see things. You know, things on things. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So you can't tell me that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. But if you now tell me to prove that I saw it, that's where the problem is. That's where you now know that it's actually in the person's mind. Anybody can have a dream. Anybody can see apparitions. It's now left for how many people saw it. Can they describe it exactly the same way? Can they make it appear again so that whoever wants to prove it can see it? That's where the problem is with most of these personal testimonies. Most of the sicknesses that are treated are sicknesses that are treatable with drugs. Most of these miracles, let me tell you, 99 point, in fact, all these miracles you are seeing, that's why I told you they are fake. They are miracles, sicknesses that are treatable with drugs. Somebody had their leg is rotten, and pastor prayed and they got healed. That's probably a symptom of diabetes, and if you take enough drugs and avoid eating bad things, some people will recover. Some people that have diabetes recover from it. Many people have testimonies of recovering from diabetes by changing their diet. But you will not see a pastor do a miracle on a disease that a drug cannot cure. Go and check it. For instance, the restoration of damaged eyeballs or missing eyeballs. Have you ever seen somebody with their eyeballs are missing and pastor prayed the eyeballs reappear? You can never see it. Every time they do all those fake miracle of blind seeing, the eyeballs are there. You will see that the eyeballs are there. They will now pray. You now say, I can now see all of a sudden. I've never seen since birth, but now I can now see colors. You will see white and know that it's white. Somebody that has never seen since birth. You know, what of miracle of restoration of lost limbs or lost fingers? Have you ever seen people that lost one finger due to an accident? Have you ever seen a pastor pray and the finger reappear? You'll never see it, man. What of lost limbs? Something happens, somebody is missing a limb and the thing will regrow. Nah. The only part of your body that can regrow itself is the liver. If something happens and you lose part of your liver, it will regrow. The rest part of your body, if you lose it, it will form a scar. It will heal, but it will form a scar. You will not see a pastor regrow. Missing kidney, you will not see. Missing leg, like all those people that have accident, their leg is gone, totally sawed off. And pastor pray it will regrow. You will never, it has never happened. Never. What you will see is that somebody said that the mother had accident and then pastor prayed and the hand healed. And he carefully edited out where the mother went to hospital, got stitches. If you have accident on your hand, you get stitches, they will treat you, they put iodine and all these things, and then you go for checkup until they remove the wraps. He edited out all that part. He just started from where she had accident and jumped to when pastor prayed, and all of a sudden the hand is working. All miracles are fake. You know, I know why I'm putting it this way, but if you now go into a play on words, the dynamics of it, you can say that breathing is a miracle. Childbirth is a miracle. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones pastors do that magically heal people. But then you need to know the place of placebo. Placebo is when somebody is given inspiration to rise up from their sick bed and they rise up. You know, for instance, I once had malaria, and when I was younger, and I've taken the drugs for the malaria, but somehow the drugs have not started kicking. They have not kicked in working. So one evening like that, I was in my room. I was feeling hot. I was like, "Fuck it, man. I'm gonna live my life as if there is no malaria." I stood up, went to the parlor, and started watching TV. And by following morning, I was fully healed. To me, it was a miracle then. But then, going forward now, I realized that I've already taken the malaria drugs from it. If you go to hospital and you complain of something and doctors recommend some tests and you do all the tests and they return negative, that there is nothing wrong with you, but you're still complaining, do you know what the doctor will do? They will write you some tablets, some placebo tablets, chalk, sugar, something that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it looks like drugs. You will go and buy it. If you go to the pharmacy and show what the doctor wrote, the pharmacist will know that these are just fake drugs. They will give it to you, placebo. They will tell you drink 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. What you notice is that after drinking it for a week, you come back for checkup. You will now see that you see the patient saying, doctor, this drugs you gave me is powerful, I'm healed. And doctor just worked on your psychology. That's what pastors do. If you come up with a problem, they pray for you and tell you to have faith that you are healed. And it works. All right? But if it's all those magic, it doesn't. ever.